sunrusosbrand.com. Okay, someone asked me on my YouTube channel, what, if anything, would I tell the people that were recently released from WWE? Well, the ironic thing is I know a bunch of these people, and I've wrestled with a bunch of these people, so I kind of I have a really good idea on what to say. But what you guys have to understand is there is so much that goes on that you guys have no idea about. And when some people try to break that barrier and try to tell you about it, they kind of get targeted by the status quo. And what that means is there is a large percentage of people in the business that benefit from the way things are. And that's not, people like to think I'm a man hater. I'm not. It's not just men that benefit from, and it's not all men either that benefit from it. That's why you guys have to really pay attention. There's a percentage of men and women that are a part of what I believe is the status quo in wrestling. It's kind of like this cult-like mentality, its own little wrestling bubble. So it hasn't quite caught up to, you know, what's going on in the world today. It lives in its own like cult-like mentality, its own little wrestling bubble. But this status quo of men and women benefit from how the system and how things currently are. They do not like system disruptors. They do not like people that will speak up. They do not like people that will go against the grain. They do not like people that ask, why do we have to stand in line? Why? They don't like people that ask questions. They like people that will play into the system because they benefit from it. It also makes them feel better about themselves and so forth and so on. And by creating the next generation that fit into the status quo, they're therefore ensuring that the status quo and their benefit from it will continue, thus making beneficiaries and so forth and so on. And part of that status quo is keeping fans in the dark. So there is so much that goes on that you, the fans, don't know about. And when there's people that try to tell you about it, you know, there's people that like attack them. Like freaking velociraptors, like, yeah! Oh, I'm sorry, Scoobs. I just scared one of my dogs. Oh, honey. Poor thing. And so when you see some of these releases, I see a lot of, you know, fans being like, oh my God, I can't believe they're released. Oh, they're so stupid. It's like, not all releases are based on talent. There's so many different reasons for releases, you know. A reason could be getting ready to sell the company. And so by releasing people, you're decreasing your overhead on how much you spend. So therefore your profit margin looks so much more impressive. It's like a legal somewhat way to cook the books, so to speak, if anybody's familiar with that, you know, phrase and what that means. So that could be a reason. Falling out of favor is a very big reason. Unaligned values and goals is a reason. Massive heat in the back is a reason. Not benefiting the status quo is a very big reason. And not fitting into the stipulations of your contract is a big thing. So there's a lot of different things that can involve a person, a talent being cut. And we as the talent don't always get that answer. Just like a lot of football players when who have agents, they don't always get the real answer either. And sometimes it's probably for the best, because when you do get the real answer, it really messes with you mentally. I would know firsthand. When I got the real reason, it was like I couldn't believe it. That affected me for years. And I'm not the only person. This has happened to a lot of people. So there's just so much that I wish like the fans would know about and get a better glimpse of, so they can have a better understanding of what's really going on. So I think one of the things that I would say is to these people that got released, like, boy, yo, girl, you know, there are so many people in your life that are going to line up for the opportunity so excitedly, like wanting to be first in line to tell you you weren't good enough, to tell you you ain't shit, to tell you you don't matter, that you never should have been signed, and that, you know, you should just be, you know, kissing the feet of the office, and, you know, you should just be thanking your lucky stars you even had an opportunity. You know, there's going to be so many people lining up to tell you you aren't good enough and lining up to quit on you. Do not let you be one of those people. Okay, so many people are going to walk in and out of your life. Don't let you be one of them. If this was your dream, you had that dream for a reason. Allow yourself the freedom and the relief. Okay, allow that freedom and relief. Okay, and then apologize to yourself for all the times that you unknowingly made yourself feel small. Okay. Forgive yourself and apologize to your younger self for all the times that you pandered away from what your goals and your dreams were to get the fickle opinions and approval of others. Okay. And then understand that this is just one chapter, and you're already going to be on to the next newest chapter. Okay. There is 6 months left to 2021. How you choose to use those 6 months is entirely up to you. It takes 5 minutes to commit yourself to a change that will better the rest of your life. 5 minutes. So if you could believe in Santa Claus as a kid for 5 years, as an adult, you should be able to believe in yourself for 5 minutes to make your life better, so that you can look back, instead of having to apologize to the little kid that you were, you can look at yourself, give yourself an epic subliminal hug, a high five, and say, we got this shizit. This is going to be an epic ride. You ready? What would you rather have? You know, I think a lot of the times we as wrestlers, you know, get so caught up in what everybody else thinks is successful in wrestling that we forget that we ourselves should be defining that for ourselves. You know, if WWE didn't work out right now, that's okay. Who knows, in 6 months, it could work out and be different. But you need to be working on you, doing your dream, focusing on you. Take a few days, maybe in a month. It's okay. Breathe, calm down, process, relax, move forward, bounce back. It is okay to go silent for a while and work really, really hard and let your success be your noise. That's what you got to do now. Just because you got released from WWE does not mean you are not talented. It does not mean you are not worthy of TV time. It does not mean you are not worthy of a salary. It does not mean that you are not meant for this business. It does not mean any of those things, okay? It was just time to move on, or somebody else didn't see your value, or all kinds of other existential circumstances that you can't control, okay? So figure out what you have to do so that you can feel better, okay? Because everybody else's opinions right now telling you how amazing you are, that's great. But they're not going to be around 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 months from now, a year from now, 2 and 5 and 10 years from now. All of that is superficial, and it's only right now. And that's great. Use it to pump you up. But don't rely on it, because it's going to be gone. You have to learn how to cheer for yourself in the silence. Believe in yourself when no one else will. Don't sacrifice your integrity, and work hard for your own dream, because nobody else is going to put in that work for you except you. And, you know, all the people that are saying how amazing you are right now, how many of those people were saying you were amazing 6 months ago? And then divide that in half, and then divide that in half again. That's how many are still going to be cheering for you in the future if you're lucky. So you need to be your biggest cheerleader. You need to be your biggest noisemaker. But before you go and be that noisemaker, you need to ignore the negative noise and let your success be your true noise. Ghost for a while. Ghost, and then come back bigger, better, stronger, smarter, more evolved, happier, and more successful than ever. Okay? Fickleness isn't going to provide you happiness, okay? It's just not. So do not define your self-worth on all these fickle things that you can't control. Do not pander. Focus on you. There's 6 months left of 2021. How you choose to use them is entirely up to you. Decide what you want, how badly you want it, and then go work for it, and you will most likely get it. Those are the types of things that I would tell them, because those are the types of things that I wish somebody would have told me, because I was so lost for so long. You know, there's so many of these people who are, you know, going to struggle when they don't have to, you know, they don't have to. So that's what I would tell them. And I'm cheering for them all the way. I'm rooting for them to succeed, because success is not a pie. More success for them does not mean less success for me or for you or for anyone else. So that's what I would say. There's probably a lot more, but that's what immediately comes to mind, because those are all things I believe in. And I hope that they find the guts and the gumption and the self-love that they need to learn how to be free with their authenticity moving forward, and not let the WWE logo be the sole factor in their identity. And that's nothing against WWE. It's just WWE is not responsible for their happiness. They're responsible for their own happiness, not the company. So that's what I hope that they find. And I hope that they realize that, you know, likes and comments, while they're great, you know, you have to love yourself first. And, you know, you can pump out all kinds of fake positivity on social media, but eventually people are going to see if you don't mean it, you know, so you got to mean what you say. and have your actions meet your words, and be free with your authenticity. That's the most freeing and most powerful, empowering thing that you can do, is be free with your authenticity. At that point, nobody can use anything against you, because we're in a business where people are, you know, they all want very similar things, but, you know, not everybody's playing the same game in order to get it, if you know what I mean. So, you know, you can't swallow enough lipstick to make yourself pretty on the inside. And there's a lot of people that like to play victim, and they play it so well that they should carry around their own body chalk. I've said those things before, I'll say them again. So don't let yourself be one of those quitters who quits on you. Don't be, you know, one of those people that's stuck as a victim. You deserve to be a thriver. And, you know, don't be focused on the fickle likes and comments and stuff like that, because, you know, at the end of the day, if you don't believe in yourself, there's only so long before people start to stop believing in you too, because you couldn't believe in yourself. So, oh my God, there's so much I could say on that. That's a really good question.